The championship title race is an absolute mess. Who'd have thought it? A couple of games ago, if you'd have told me that all three teams would be completely bottling it, I would not have believed you, not in the slightest. And I'm going to start off on those three teams with my team, Leeds United. I was at Ellen Road today, and that game was stressful. I can't believe that we didn't manage to pick up at least a point out of that. I think in comparison to the midweek game against Sunderland, I'm not quite as annoyed. There's a few reasons for that. The first of which, we did actually play better. I know we needed to win. It was super important, especially after seeing Leicester lose against Plymouth last night, another relegation threatened side. Blackburn, they peppered Sunderland 5-1 a couple of weeks ago, but you think they're down right at the bottom end of the table. We've got to beat them. We had 75% possession and 19 shots and didn't score a goal, which, I mean, it goes back to that Leeds United don't have a striker problem. Pirot started up front today. Bamford needed to be dropped. I said last time Bamford shouldn't start anymore, but I wanted Joseph. I wanted Joseph to start. He deserves it. Every time he's come on, he's done quite well. The last two appearances, maybe not so much, but he's had, 10 minutes to make a difference. Pirot today, as a striker, wasn't very good. 2 touches in the opposition box. As a striker who played in that position until about the 70th minute, it's just not really good enough. Another thing that's not good enough is Leeds United's ability to put a ball in the box. Set pieces, crosses, corners, it doesn't matter. We had over 10 corners today, and not once did I think we were a threat from any of them. It's the same for every single set piece. I just see us and think, nah, there's no chance. And for some reason, we've now started doing long throw-ins as well, which, if we're a team that challenges in set pieces and looks like they're actually going to score at some point, then I don't mind that. But it never looks like we're going to. The goal we conceded today, Schmodics is a fucking quality championship player, isn't he? Great finish from him, but way too easy for Blackburn to get through there. Just, there was no one on him. He's the championship top scorer and there's no one watching him. Do you know how mental that is? For our defence, which has been really, really good all season, that lapse in concentration has meant that we have now lost our home unbeaten record, which has stood all season. And going into today, I was actually quite confident, especially when I saw the lineup. Roberts in there, Nonto in there, Bamford finally not. And then it just fell apart. I think the substitutions were wrong today. The timing of the substitutions was correct for once, but we brought off Gruev, who was our best defensive player and best midfielder throughout the game. And we also brought off Nonto. Nonto was probably the most exciting attacking player we had, the one that had had a crack a couple times, and we decided to bring him off. I don't know. It baffled me a little bit. I thought, if anything, Somerville should have been brought off. He really wasn't at the races today, and I love Somerville. Obviously, one of the best attackers in the league this season by a country mile, and he was god-awful, to be honest. I'm not trying to dig out any individual player, but he just wasn't very good today. Weirdly, I said we had 19 shots. We did. Blackburn, to me, had the better chances. Once Bamford came on, he did have 2 decent chances. He had more expected goals than Pirot. I think he had the more out of any player on the pitch. But I don't just want to concentrate on that. There was a chance in the second half of Blackburn where they put it across the 6-yard box, and I do not know how it didn't go in. Meslier scrambled and managed to pick it up. But a weird game, because we played better, but in a weird way, I keep saying weird, I think that the result was, it was coming. The Blackburn fans didn't particularly deserve it, the ones in the stadium anyway. They were awful. They didn't chant at all until they were winning. Practically forgot they were there. Didn't sell all the tickets, which doesn't surprise me. Blackburn are one of those weird teams because people always big them up as this, oh, well, they won the Premier League. Well, they won the league, yes, but they get about 5,000 people a game. When Leeds go to Blackburn, there's more Leeds fans there. The same for practically any big championship club. You look at Sheff Wednesday, they'll be taking thousands there next week because, well, they'll be very angry at Leeds right now because they needed Leeds to win in order to keep Blackburn in that relegation battle. Another thing to touch on from the game today, the referee was shit. There's no other way to put it. The referee today was horribly bad. The amount of time wasting, especially from the Blackburn goalkeeper, he should have been booked 3 times in the first half for time wasting. There was a minute added on at the end of the first half, which is an absolute disgrace, by the way. But then in that minute, the goalkeeper took 40 seconds to take the goal kick and wasn't booked. Second half, he got booked in about the 85th minute, but he should have been booked way before that. And it's like referees are too afraid to book a goalkeeper early for wasting time, because then, well, what if they carry on for the rest of the game? That's the whole point. You're meant to do it earlier so that they don't carry on for the rest of the game. But it wasn't just that. Leeds players got fouled throughout the game. Eventually, he started booking Blackburn players, but it was a little bit too little too late. There was enough times that they'd broke up play, which admittedly, as a plan from them, is very smart. You can't blame them for doing that, but the ref should have done a better job of stopping it earlier in the game. A bit of a positive note, actually, and one, Firpo this year for Leeds. What a year. If you'd have told me that Firpo would be one of our most progressive players, one of the best players going forward this year, I wouldn't say this season, this year, I'd have died of shock. But he has been, and I have got no gripe with Firpo this year. I think he deserves his place in the team, and he's held it down. And going forward, he's been fantastic. You see, obviously, Roberts coming in for Gray today. Roberts did well while he was on. Byron came on as a sub later in the game. I think that's fair. Byron's been pretty solid whenever he's played, but it does. We're bottling it. Leeds United are bottling it, and does that surprise me? Yes, actually. After we had a run at the start of this year up to the international break, which hasn't been seen in the Championship for a long, long time. We hadn't conceded a goal in open play up to a couple games ago, and from that point, we have since the international break, we have been bad. And the only saving grace for that is the fact that every team in the automatic promotion race has been bad as well. Leicester lost last night to Plymouth. Ipswich drew 1-1 with Middlesbrough today. Thank you, Luke Ayling, for assisting that Middlesbrough goal. But we're just lucky that we're not out of it because the other teams are just as bad. But it's very strange that this is happening with 3 teams that have been so good all season. I really wasn't expecting it. And I personally think now that Southampton are actually back in the automatic promotion race. They've still got Leeds and Leicester to play, which could equal effectively a 6-point swing in their race for automatic promotion. They've got 2 games in hand. If they win those 2 games in hand, they're then on level points with Leeds. If I'm a Southampton fan, I'm feeling hopeful right now. And I'm also feeling like there's less pressure on them, which is why they're winning. They scored a last-minute winner today. So, I don't know. I do think Southampton are back in it. As for Leeds, I'm trying not to be too down, but I think we're bottling it big time. At the same time, though, I do think Leicester fans are definitely thinking that. Ipswich fans, maybe not so much because they didn't expect to be in this position. I mean, to be honest, at the start of the season, did I, as a Leeds fan, after all the players we lost, I'm not sure. We should be with the amount we have in the squad with the likes of Rutter, etc. Anyway, I think Ipswich fans and Leicester fans are probably feeling a very similar way at the minute. We've all now had opportunities to capitalise on each other's downfalls and failed time and time again. So 3 games left of the season. We've got Middlesbrough, QPR away and Southampton at home. I said it at the end of the last video. I'll say it again. It's all going to come down to that last game against Southampton at home, isn't it? Where all the games are played at the same time. I'll be there checking my phone, checking for the other scores, seeing what's happening. Then again, I say that, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't pick up a point against fucking Middlesbrough or QPR at this rate. But anyway, yeah, a weird day at Ellen Road. An actually decent performance. We've been worse. We've certainly been better. We need to be more clinical, but we'll be back next week. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. I'm going to try to do these reaction videos for Leeds more often. I enjoyed the last one. And obviously I'm there. So I'm definitely watching it and know what's happening, unlike half the shit I talk about on here. So thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Yeah, I'll see you for the next fixture. Come on, Leeds.